Hello everybody, Monte here! That's right, heading back to space, Kerbal Space Program. Now, some things have happened since the last year I have kind of worked on this series. The new announcement is 2022. We will finally be seeing some Kerbal Space 2. So here I am, back Kerbal Space Program 1, heading back to space. We did some docking, we had our big space station built together. Now we're actually going to go land on Minmus today. We've been Minmus bound. We did a little flyby, came back. This time we actually want to take the lander. So we've got Valentina as the pilot, Bill Kerman, our wonderful engineer, and Lagerfry, our scientist. So got our first stage burnt. Bye-bye boosters. And let's just get into a Kerbal orbit and try to get to Minmus. Nice thing is Minmus is oddly a little bit easier than the moon. Besides, it's got a little bit of tilt to it, which will correct ourselves before we leave Kerbin. It's always nice to kind of fix our inclination. But other than that, I just wanted to bring you guys back. I am now recording things a little bit different. Check that. I'm recording things with OBS Studio. However, now I'm using some Windows Photo thing instead of Windows Movie Maker because I lost that. I had a hard drive crash. Anyway, this is my first video with the new setup. So I've done the recording. All the video you're watching is at 1.5 times speed. And then I'm just doing a little post narration for you fine folks. And what that does is it makes a 40-minute video come down to like 25 minutes or something like that. So it's pretty sweet. Plus, you know, maneuvers are maneuvers if we're looking to see how we do these things. That was all kind of on earlier videos. I had to kind of go back myself. Before I did any recording, I did save 2 more Kerbals out of Kerbin orbit. And then also 2 Kerbins out of the moon orbit. And just brought them back home. So that kind of helped me work on making the maneuvers again and moving around in space and connecting 2 objects. So we're ready to go right back to it. So what I realized here was that I was not getting enough oomph with my 1 rocket. So I went ahead and activated my 2 booster engines that are actually supposed to be the engines that are going to detach the capsule module that's on the top from our lander, our science lander, and return home. So the idea, the plans, the best laid Kerbal plans are Lagerfrey's gonna just hang out on Minmus. Like somehow he's got an unending supply of food. We just don't ask. And we're going to hope to bring Valentina and Bill back. For one, bringing back that research is pretty nice. But Lagerfrey's going to be able to hang out there, work in the science station, transmit that stuff on back. Plus, we have all the ground stuff from one of the expansions, right? So we're going to put down a seismic thing and some solar panel experimental units to get the experimental units powered up. And all that. One thing, we'll get to it. One thing that I do know that's going to be trouble is if I leave with the command module and I leave Minmus and I leave the science module part behind, because I didn't attach a command module, I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to run the science experiments. Yes, we just got some orbit. 50, 60, 70. My little mouse at the bottom left is pointing. 75, that's good. I'm probably going to cut engines. Don't waste any more fuel. That was a pretty ugly get up in orbit, but it's a big monster that we're hauling to Minmus. So, yeah. Anyway, first step's done. Minmus is our target. I'm going to go ahead and try to click on an outside point of view. I need to get rid of that previous maneuver to make this a little bit easier. See, I'm adding maneuvers on maneuvers. It's like a double extra maneuver. Yeah, it's just delete them all. There we go. So what I'm trying to do here is fix that ascension node See, it was like a 0.5%. So I'm not doing it at the best point in time. But I'm going to fast forward. This will finish off burning the fuel from our main liquid engine. So we'll fire forward. Unfortunately, that space debris will just get left behind. Got to orient ourselves, and while I do, I'm going to take a drink of coffee. But pretty good stuff. I'm hoping that this will score us some science. We're sitting at about like 148. We need 150 to upgrade some more stuff, but what I'm really wanting to do is skip ahead, get 300 science, and upgrade more scientific experiments, which means even more science. So I'm pretty happy with the career mode. I was worried that we would run out of cash, but it's nice to see that we could... Whoa, that was a little dangerous. I do enjoy seeing that I can continue to just go up into orbit, save some Kerbins, and make some cash. Every recovery mission has been doing well. I try to grab 2 in one go, so I go up with my 1 ship, knock out 2 pickups, come on back home, all money, all reputation. But we're still doing pretty good. I mean, we're maybe into year 2. Maybe. Yeah, I got a little messed up on what we were trying to do here. Oh, there it is. This is just like a real quick burn. What I hadn't done is made any changes to my thrust limit on these. So that's why it has a burn time of 1 second. I gotta be careful with that stuff. But I am excited to get back into it. I don't have any mods. I finally had it modded up. We're back clean, no mods. We're just going to play it as is because they added a bunch of stuff. So I don't talk about it too much this episode. Next episode, I do want to play around a little bit more. You can repair things on the fly. You can do a lot of attaching, I guess, and detaching, some construction out and about. Of course, this requires leveled up Kerbals. So even though we have the capability, as I set up this maneuver to hit Minmus, the moon is getting in the way. So that's where I was like, what's happening here? That's not Minmus. So I have to kind of swing it out wide. Probably just reset this. Yeah, let's just redo this. But yeah, so there's some things to show off. Hopefully we'll get Bill upgraded here. He'll be a little bit of a better engineer. Right now he can, like, I think, put parachutes back together. And then the scientist who we have going along, I think they can reset science experiments, which is great for, like, the goo collector and the science junior that are usually one-time uses. Because then you could do, like, the transmit as its one-time use, reset it, and then collect data to store in the science module that we brought out there. Because the science module will process the science, and we'll even get more. So if all goes well and we land, we should be sending back like hundreds of science, like really, really, really good. This is not like your whole, hey, you've discovered Kerbal shores, here's your 5 science. It's going to be like, you've landed on Minmus, here's your 400 science or something crazy. So here's hoping. So what I saw is this is going to be a double flip, which is going to take more time. Like, we're swinging all the way out there, but there is no Minmus right now. So what we're going to have to do is swing around, and I'm just making sure my periapsis isn't too short where I'm going to accidentally fly into Kerbin on my way back. So we're going to fast forward. I'm going to oh no, I'm trying to orient myself first. Up a little bit more. Fast forward. We have 5 hours to go, so we're going to warp. Auto time warp canceled again. Just wanted to make sure we didn't ruin ourselves. We're at like a 90K above Kerbin, so we're good. That's plenty above the surface. Do a little slingshot maneuver. Zoom. Ooh, our speed really racked up, and now it's slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. And what would happen, we would just get sucked in and then get thrown right back into orbit of Kerbin. But that's not going to happen when we get close here, and I'm doing this wrong. Yeah, because I was saying let's burn hard, and I'm going to actually spin myself back around doing like a retrograde orbit. That's not a thing. Anyway, I've gotten this a little backwards, so I think I need to just get close, cancel this, and figure it out once we get like here. So we're warping around. Minmus coming on in, and there we have it. It's kind of dark, it's hard to see, but it's right there. So I'm burning retrograde, which should flip this blue line around, and it'll eventually turn into a circle all the way around, and now we have orbit. So now it's just about efficient burns. I'm going to add a maneuver at the maximum AP, and that's going to bring us on in. And see, I was thinking we were spinning around from this angle, it would be like counterclockwise, but we're going clockwise. So what I'm going to do is flip this around. And what I'm not paying attention to, because I'm so not used to it, is Valentina. She's a level 2 pilot, so I could be clicking on, I can't mouse over it now, but to the left of the nav ball, you see the 6-pack of red circles, and then there's the little green circle. So I can click on those different icons, and Valentina will automatically pilot to that. So really, really helpful for the retrograde burn, which I do believe I will use for landing. I just got a quick glimpse of the comet in the background. And see, yeah, the inventory system's all upgraded now. Like, you can actually see their jetpacks, their parachutes, which we'll trade out for experiments and stuff, because for Lagerfry, who's staying here, doesn't really need a parachute anymore. We just have to remember if for some odd reason we need an emergency parachute for their return trip, that we bring a little something, something. So we still have, looking at the bottom left, 1,600 and almost under 1,600 meters per second left of change. And we only need 25 meters per second to finish this maneuver, but I'm just going to cancel it because I know what I'm doing, just trying to bring myself in. And what I'm thinking is if we just retrograde burn there, I'm going to try to land in, yep, try to talking with my cursor. I'm going to try to land in one of those big craters right there. Yoop. There we go. And I didn't create like a complete maneuver. I just put the position so I knew where to warp to. And then now I know I'm just doing a retrograde burn. And that will bring that AP in until it's crashing me into the surface. I'm going ahead and putting out the landing gear. So again, math, I kind of winged it. What I should have done is not use those 2 engines as much to get here and only use that back, the bottom engine. So I'm going to disable any second now the 2 engines and only retrograde burn with that remaining 1592 fuel tank, which is still overkill. See a nice little view of Kerbin to the bottom left. But again, I'm going to just burn as much as I can, slow us down, and then get rid of it. So I got to restage. I want my 2 engines up there. We're going to have this guy. See, now it changed. No. It's still the 1592. So So we're good now. So burn, 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 burn. And if you look at it, we're going 113.9. Minmus has a pretty weak gravity. So unlike the moon has a pretty strong gravity. So even though there's no atmosphere, there's a strong gravity. So you really need boosters to slow yourself down and get yourself off the planet. Minmus, it's like, takes nothing. Like, really, if you can land on Minmus, you can pretty much get home if you've just got a little bit of fuel. All you got to do is break the orbit, put yourself in a nice little degrading pattern. But this should be easy peasy. So I am using now the retrograde piloting. So Valentina's doing a lot of this on her own. I'm just controlling the bursts. I don't want to burn too slow or it'll not actually put me in the canyon. But I saw that they just added the final beautification updates. I think it's to like what, Joel and some other place I've never been to, but I think they're really finally about done with expanding out on KSP. So we're going to be playing with everything they're bringing to the table. Now I'm trying to decide. See, I'm only going super slow. I burned a little too early, but I'm trying to figure out how to lose this guy at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop it. I wanted to use up as much fuel as possible. I don't know. I might not even have the technology. I could have done like all the fuel transfers and move the fuel up to the other tanks and all that, but I don't think we're ready for that. Nice. And then I also think I put the protective fairing on there, kind of interesting, but it's kind of working as a bottom plate still connected. So I'm not too worried. I'm just going to burn to the side here so we don't land onto the same place as our fuel-filled, container. And what I'm realizing is that was the auto-correction of Valentina going, I'm trying to aim myself retrograde here. And I'm all forcing it to aim to the side. But I believe we're good now. So we dropped down. We're now at 1255 meters per second of change on the bottom left in orange. So I don't want to burn up too much now because everything I burn now is going to make it a little bit harder to get home. But like I said, we're good. We've got plenty of fuel. I really just had to go over the top to get us here. So what I'm realizing is I'm a lot lower than I thought. We're at 900 feet. I see the shadow, so I'm burning pretty hard now. And nice, we're getting some good explosions down there. I think that piece bounced off the ground. All right, here we are, 10 meters per second. I'm going to try to do something super smooth. Maybe get a little bounce, but as long as I keep this thing under 10, I'm pretty sure we're good. Don't completely remember the rating of these gears, but we should be good. We should be good. Little bounce. Little bounce. And nice. Minmus, everybody. Minmus bound. And found. And downed. So I'm going to shut down the engines so I don't accidentally press something. And I'm trying to figure out, who should go out and out. And better yet, let's save the game. Minmus landing. And have our scientist go stretch their legs. Open up the solar panels. Probably shouldn't be doing this now because it's very easy to fall down and break them. However, next episode I will show you how to fix one in case you do break one. Because I believe Bill can handle that. You do need a repair kit, like a little briefcase with repair kits, but I brought those along. And I also brought EVA kits. I don't know how to use that yet, so we'll figure it out. One thing to remember on Minmus is, oh, look at that. 40 science cannot transmit, but that's because I'm, standing outside. I'm going to store the experiment. And then I could transmit it if I want, but we'll transmit it later. Yeah, all I did was jump and I went flying. So I'm glad I didn't take off the jetpack. Not like we would fall really hard. But you never know. Yeah, so what I do, regrets, let's talk the regrets. I didn't put enough lights on this thing. But let's put a flag down, call it good. I went with the R&D flag. It's our first flight out here. It's all for the science. It's for that research and development cache. And yeah, I got nothing for the plaque, so let's just keep on keeping on. We should be good. Good money with that surface sample. And then we're going to set up all the science. Now, I know I make some little mistakes here with the equipment, the science equipment that you put on the ground. For example, like the solar panel, you should have the engineer put it together. But like the actual control center, the scientist is the one who should be putting it out. And I think I build everything with the engineer. So I brought 2 storage units because at the time I didn't have all the extra storage. So I'm trying to figure out how inventory works now because I can see the weight and the tonnage and all that stuff. So what I need to do is like an exchange. So I'm going to go ahead and put the photovoltaic panels in there, and then I'm going to give them his jump pack in that storage. So we can install it with the little circle and arrow right under that icon. I'm going to step out a little bit, get some power going, and then do the same old thing with the control unit here. And then this one's even heavier, so I needed to get rid of the parachute. So we got, whoop, yeah, see, barely moving, and you go flying around. So you got to really barely step. And this is pretty cool. You press F, you can interact with it. Beep, beep, boop, boop. And you can see what's going on. 1 power needed for the control unit. Total power available is 3 because I had the engineer set up the power, so that's nice. The nice thing is I think you can just pick it up and put it back down with the appropriate person. So maybe I'll do that next episode before we head back, because this episode's just about getting here. Will they return? You must stay tuned next time to find out. I brought this thing, the cool little arm thing that's supposed to be able to do surveys. It looked like the bubble was wide enough, but it was not. So this is the mystery goo observation. I'm going to bring this guy on over. What I'm kicking myself for is I didn't bring the Communitron, but I don't think when I built this originally I had that science researched. The nice thing is this little control module, that antenna does transmit science. So not as much as quick, but the science will get transmitted. Because we already have our communication network out here. So that's all good stuff. Like 5% science rate, so that's a little low. So just checking things out. Total power needed is now 2. Total power available is 6 because we're getting 3 per. And then I think I even have another solar panel. I went a little crazy on the solar panels. I guess planning for expansion. Oh no, I do have... that's right, there we go. I can't bring both. I think for funsies, I have the scientists set up the final solar panel, which is not the right move. This one's pretty cool. I don't know if we put one of these on the moon, now that I think about it. Get some seismic data and such. Passive Seismometer. I don't know if we need to actually have some like accidents, not accidents. Let's not call them accidents. Let's call them experiments land at an aggressive pace next to this thing. That might help. Yeah, the light scanning arm. Like it says retracted, but I don't see how to extend it. Like I could in the lab where I built it, but right now I've got nothing. So I'm thinking, hey man, what if I bring Valentina down, who I'm realizing now has no parachutes and stuff. So I did a transfer from the top down into the science vessel, and I'm trying to go like, what's the deal here? Anyway, can't get those to work. So I'm going to go ahead and just, because I can, get this final solar panel set up. And then that's it for our first landing on Minmus. I'm just glad I finally got it together. And it's funny because it was about July last year when we did our first Minmus bound. So next, I think I'm going to try to work on a better lander for the Moon. And then wow, really? Is it time to start planning for Duna? I mean, I guess first and foremost is going to be let's get like a communication satellite out there. Some things to do of that nature. And there might be some new missions like, oh, I know there's a new mission that's called, that deals with the repair pack. Like I have to go out into space and repair a satellite or something, or I don't know, maybe some satellite has a really old computer and can't take pictures of stuff anymore, kind of like the Hubble problem. So, yeah, there's some things that we're going to be able to do mission-wise like that. Now it's kind of just, I'm just trying to move stuff around and go, wait, let's not bring back the packs that I don't need. And still confused about the light scanning arm. But it says no target within range. So there's that. But I do have the communications panel that I just didn't see until probably about now. And I'm going to go, aha, I remember these things. Extend, transmit, and that was already 40 science and uploaded another 38. So I think that was like the EVA from the ground and the sample. Plus, there was probably better ways to do that, realizing that I can click on some of these experiments and store them in the science lab. So I'm going to get everyone back on the ship, and next episode we will do some temperature logging. There's some other scientific experiments that we can do here, and then we'll try to get our Kerbals back. So I'll catch you again next episode. Thanks all for tuning in. Bye.